Hello everyone and welcome to Makeover Monday Watch Me Viz for week 49, I believe we're on. It's gone by very quickly since we've come back from the hiatus. My name is Andy Kriebel. I am the global head coach of the Data School, and I created this channel to help you become great at Tableau. Hopefully you're following along with all of my tips. I've been doing YouTube shorts for 36 days now. Trying to give you real quick tips on charts and techniques and things that will help you get better. The purpose of Watch Me Viz is to show you how I approach a visualization. I'm going to start off by critiquing the visualization, talking about what I like, what I don't like, and then getting into creating my own version. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to leave them in the chat. So over here on the side, I can see the chat messages, so please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And if you like the content that you see, please don't forget to click on subscribe. Again, I'm putting out lots of content every week, and I don't want you to miss anything. So click on subscribe, turn on your notifications, and you should be good to go. So let's get started here. Okay. All right, so what we have here is we're looking at how Americans overestimate demographics in based on a bunch of different characteristics. So the first thing that we see here is that we have a nice little title that summarizes the data that we are looking at. I think it does a really good job of laying out what the questions are that are being asked. So for example, we can see that they say in the subtitle what the question is that they ask people. So if you had to guess what percentage of American adults, and then it goes down to each of the questions. So in other words, if you had to guess what percentage of American adults have a household income over 1 million, and the people estimate that over 20% of the population makes more than 1 million, and the true proportion is 0. Of course, the true proportion isn't 0. It's 0 point something, but it looks like the data set is rounded, probably for simplicity and for labeling. I do like how everything is sorted from, it's sorted by the red dots. So from the true proportion, and then we have the estimated proportion in the blue. I like how everything's labeled. Again, I might like to see maybe one decimal place when there is, so here on the left, oops, sorry, wrong option there. So here on the left, if I could hit the right key, it would help. So for example, here on the left, we can see that we have, for example, 1, 2, 3, and 4%. They all look very close. And we could see that the 4% are slightly different. But they obviously are displayed as the same value. So that's one of the problems I see with this particular data set and the representation of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the exact numbers, so I had to just copy and paste all these numbers in. So you're going to see the data rounded as well. And we can see that, for example, voted in the election. So that looks pretty close, which is good. So there's a few that are close, a few that aren't. Maybe one thing they could have done was maybe color code the bar in the middle to be which one is higher or lower. So for example, maybe this bar, the first one maybe is the line that's connecting the two circles is blue, something like that. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up the video to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. So if somebody could please just let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay, that would be fantastic. Okay, so let me go to my channel and live. Oops. And okay, so we do see somebody here. Okay, so if somebody all right, please. So thank you, Apex Smart, for letting me know that you can hear okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the data. I'm going to first connect to the data source. And let me find it here. So makeover Monday, data 2022, and true proportions. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and rename the sheet. And one of the things that we see here, so we have the topic, the true proportion, the estimated proportion. So I did enter these as percentages. One thing I'm going to do right away is just go ahead and create a calculation that's the difference between the two. So I'm going to create a calculated field. I'm going to call this one difference, possibly, if my keyboard decided to work okay. What the heck's going on here? Okay. All right, so let me just cancel out of that. Maybe it's not letting me create a connection for some reason, or to create a calculation. That's okay, I'll do it right in here. I'm gonna start by selecting both of these fields. Okay, and my keyboard is not responding very well. So let's go ahead and set the default number format to a percentage to 0 decimals. And then same thing here. So default properties, number format, percentage to 0 decimals. I should be able to select both of those at the same time, but my keyboard doesn't seem to want to do it. Okay, so let's call this one, what the heck is going on here? Let me turn my keyboard off and back on. Something is going on here where it's not letting me type, which is not particularly good when you're trying to create a demo. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see. Okay, so it's working there. Okay, just give me 1 second. I need to plug in my laptop or my keyboard. Maybe it's dead. Okay, let's see if that works now. Maybe my keyboard needs a charge. Yeah. All right, great. So sorry about that. So in here, I'm just going to look at maybe the true proportion minus the estimated proportion and click on OK. So that's going to give me the difference. And then I'm going to create another calculated field that is, let's call this one true greater than estimated. And in this case, I'm just going to say true is greater than estimated. And I'm doing that just to give me a dimension that I can then use on color. Okay, so let's bring in the topic. Let's bring in the, I'm just going to try to recreate the original actually. So true proportion, that's there. Let's change the mark type to a circle. And then we've got the estimated proportion, which I'm going to make a combined axis view. And let's go ahead and change the colors. So I'm going to go to the original here. Let's see if I can pick the colors off of here. Okay, so let's see if it lets me pick a single color. All right, grid, grid, grid. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can choose a color here somewhere. Okay, maybe it has the colors over here on the left. All right, doesn't look like it. Let me try that again. All right, I'm just trying to match the colors. I can pick them, but I was just trying to see if I could actually grab the colors themselves. Okay, here we go, first row. Oh, there are proportions here. Interesting, there are the exact numbers, but I didn't know that when I created the data set. Plus, I probably didn't want to copy and paste them all either. First row, all right. Colors, okay, I'm wasting some time here. So let me just go ahead and double click on estimated proportion, click on my color picker, and just go here, click on OK, and then the estimated proportion, let's go to the red and click on OK and OK again. And that gives me that. To draw the line between them, I'm just going to double click my measure values, take measure names off the view and make it a line, and put measure names onto the path. Okay, then let's go ahead and make that a dual axis and synchronize. And I'm going to edit this axis and get rid of the title. Okay, and then I can go ahead and hide the header there. And it looks like the dots are behind the circles, so let's move the circles to the front. And let's see what kind of width they have for this chart. So their chart is 588 wide. Okay, so I would have to do that in the dashboard itself. I'm just going to kind of drag it over and give us a good idea here. All right, so we can hide the field labels, and then let's sort the topic ascending by the field true proportion. All right, so now we have something very similar to the original visualization, and I need to move this over a bit so that we can, so we can see the entire label. All right, and I'm going to format my view now, and my worksheet, I'm just going to set it to black, maybe a solid black, and then the font. So let me format the font, and I'm going to make it 8 point just to shrink it up a bit, and then move this over. Just keep going. Okay, something like that. And I'm going to, let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get the font for their data. So over on the right here, can I see what font they're using? So the font family is Graphic, G-R-A-P-H-I-K. I doubt Tableau has that font, but we'll give it a go anyway. So let's see, format workbook. And the worksheets, let's set this to GR. Yeah, they don't have it. Okay. What does it look like? It kind of looks like Arial, doesn't it? So let me go up here and try this one. Graphic. Okay. Let's see. So let's do fonts.google.com. And let's see. Okay, so can't find those fonts. Font similar to graphic. All right, so let's see here. Similar fonts, Plaque, Recta. Okay, Unica. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look and see if I can find some of these. And no, I don't have any of those. Plaque, Recta. I doubt I have any of these. Plaque, Recta. Yeah, I don't have any of these. So I'm just going to pick a font. I'm going to go with something that I like. Let's try Poppins. Okay, I like that. Now, of course, this isn't going to look like this when I publish it to Tableau Public, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. All right, so now I can hide the header. Let's format the view. And we want to get rid of our column dividers and our row dividers. And let me switch back over to the original. Close this out. Okay. So, okay, it looks like they have a 0 line and then every 10%. Oops, so let me show the header again. Format. And the font is percentage. All right, let me edit the axis. Get rid of the value. Okay, and then in my lines, I want to make the In the columns, I want to make the 0 line solid. And then I'm going to have dashed lines, or no, solid lines going up the view as well. So grid lines, solid as well. Okay. So that looks good. All right, and then let's, so if we put the labels on, we might have a bit of an issue here. So actually, let me just go ahead and, if I put the measure values onto label, we get something like that. Okay, that's not too bad. Allow overlap. Okay, so I think I'm going to do just the right side of the line. Oh, label the end of the line. Okay, and then in the values here, I'm going to put a couple of spaces to move it off a bit. Maybe, how does that look compared to theirs? Maybe one space. Okay, and then I'm going to set it to match the mark color. Oops, but that's not right. So I need to, let me just choose my color here. Let's copy. And then in my label, I want my font color to be, oops. Let's paste. Okay. All right, so that gives us that font color. And then on the circles, we could, let's just label the true proportions. So, okay, so that min max, I don't want to do that. Field. Measure names. Maximum value. Okay, there we go. Alignment, I want it to be to the left, and then I want it to match the mark color. Okay, so what I did there was, so obviously I put a field on I put the true proportion on the font, but it started showing up on both sides. So I changed it to a min-max, and then here in the field, I chose measure names, because I can then say the maximum, which is true proportions, and it's the maximum because it's alphabetical. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. And I'm going to, in the label, I'm going to set it to 8 point. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, that's not very good. Let's set it to 8. And then this one, let's also set it to 8. Okay, I thought I had set the whole worksheet to be 8, but maybe I didn't. Let me format this. I could have sworn I said everything be 8, and then this should be maybe like a gray. What the heck? Does that look good? Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so this is kind of the original. Oh, but it overlaps a bit. That's not good. Okay. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get these other labels on the other side. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. All right, so I'm going to also remove my color legend, so that way when I put it in the dashboard, it doesn't show up. All right, we have these lines going across. I can't really do lines going across unless let's see if I do like the average of 0. Is that going to mess things up? Yeah, so that messed everything up. Did it? Yeah, so that gives us the values going across. So include in tooltip. Show header. So that gives us the values going. Okay, so that lets us see the dots going across. So if I go to my rows and I set my grid lines to be dashed and maybe a light gray. Oh no, that should be my 0 line. Light gray. Okay, something like that. Okay, so that's a bit better. And let's make this standard. Oops. make it, okay, I can, why is it, okay, I'm just gonna need to kind of manually shrink up these columns. Okay, oops. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's better. And maybe make this a bit wider. Okay, so we're getting there. Let me format the view again and set the zero line. Let's make it lighter gray. Okay, I think we're more like the original now. And again, I'm only recreating the original because I like it, and I think that it's a useful exercise to learn how to build it. So we're going to right align that. Okay, so so we could put poll data, so we could just copy and paste that. And I'm going to turn on my caption, and this is where I like to put my nope. This is where I like to put my my credits and everything. So let me make this that and 8 and data source is YouGov America. Graded by. Okay. Yeah, so there happens to be an issue with the label at the bottoms. Yeah, I agree, Hans, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I've also lost my labels, so that's just wonderful, isn't it? Let's see. So what happened to my labels then? So I lost the labels when that was on there. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. Why would I lose the labels with that? Huh. I don't know. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the dual axis, and I'm just going to select a few of these and mark label, always show. Okay, so there's something going on with my mark label now. That's strange. Let me change it to text. Yes, something's not right here. Okay, so something's broken. So putting the average of 0 in here seems to have broken the... Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's just the space. Okay. All right, so let's... okay, so let me just undo back to where I had the dual axis. Okay, so I just need to make these columns ever so slightly taller. I still have. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're good with the labels here, but then when we get down to the bottom, we've got a bit of a mess here. So this will take a minute, but I'm going to just kind of manually move these around. So if you click on it, you can just kind of manually drag it. So this will take a while, won't it? Okay, but let me see if on my labels I could make it center height wise. Let me show the header. me now. Okay, so, and then what I would need to do here is click on this one and move it over. There's probably a way to do this with a formula. Let me see if I can make this slightly taller. The thing I don't like now is they're not centered. What if I make them bottom? Yeah, that doesn't make a difference. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the average of 0 line. I don't know. The good thing about it is it lets your eye go across the view. But then I've got extra lines here. Okay, let me. Okay, now I'm making this a 0.0 so that I can edit the axis and make it a bit tighter. So edit the axis, and now I can go from minus 0.5 to 0.5. Okay, but that's still, I'm still getting, okay, so format. Let me get rid of, okay, so something's still a bit weird here because I've got extra lines here for some reason. And I don't know why. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's not that. For some reason I've got extra lines here between the sections, like at the top and the bottom of each of these rows. Okay, so let's format again. Oops, show the header. Let me try this. Let me go to tick marks. And we want to go from 0 to 1. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's better. All right, so let me go back down here. This is really a pain. I wonder if, okay, let's try this. I'm gonna try something with my circle labels. So you can see here, I've got it always at the maximum value. So let me try something. Let's see. Label, I'll just call it circle label. I'm going to try to fix it with a formula. So if true is greater than estimated, then I want to return. So if true is on the right hand side, then I want to return estimated. Else true proportion. And okay, so default properties, number format. Oops. All right, so I'm going to try putting that here instead. And that didn't do anything, did it? Okay, let me just, I'm going to remove this one for now. And then this one, I need to change the label to be oh, there's no line, that's why. Okay. So it's now showing me the red and the blue to the left of the dot like I want, but now it's also showing it on the right-hand side. Okay, so okay, so that doesn't do anything. Maybe it's possible to label the right ends of the lines and not the dots. So I think what you're saying here, so let's go here and let's turn the labels on. And if I line both ends, but now the colors don't match. Maybe I'll put measure names onto color. Let's try that. No, I don't want to do that. So that lets me match the mark color, and it looks okay. The problem now is that some of them overlap the circles. Okay, I want to try to figure this out just because I think it's an interesting puzzle to try to solve. Okay, so what is this doing now? This is showing me, okay, that's just showing me the line ends. All right, so let me turn this one off and turn this one back on. Okay, let me see. Okay, so that didn't change anything. Right, I know I've done this before too. Okay. This is super annoying. So that's not working. Okay, so that's not working. It's so stupid that it won't let me. Oh, there we go. That was easy. Okay, that's better. Okay, so so that gives us the labels there. All right, so then maybe what I need to do on this one then is, so let me turn the tooltips on again, and that works there, but then we get a bit of a mess down here. Okay, so let's try min-max, measure values, and then we only want to lay, okay, there we go. Oh, sweet. Oh, but now the sugar. So now the color doesn't work, match mark color. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. Line label. So let's say if true greater than estimated, then true. End. And then let's duplicate that. Edit line label estimated. Okay, so then let's so I'm creating two calculations now, and I'm going to put both of these onto the label. Okay, so then what I need to do here is let's move estimated and then true. Okay, so estimated is which color? Estimated is the blue. Okay, so let's choose the blue, and then this one is where'd it go? Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay, so that worked. Excellent. So what this calculation is doing, so I'm putting them side by side. So I've got two calculations. Line label estimated will be a null when the true is greater than the false, and then the opposite way. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So now we've got the original. Now the last thing we could do is maybe on the line, if we color the line, and then let's change these colors. So, okay, where is it here? Where's the circle? True. Okay. So now this tells us which one is greater. I think that might add a bit better context. So analysis, legend. Let's get rid of the color legend. Curious your thoughts on that, whether you like the circles on there, or sorry, the colors on the bars or not. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to go ahead now and stick it on a dashboard. I know I haven't really done a whole heck of a lot, but that's okay. I'm just trying to recreate the original because I thought it would be a good learning exercise. So let's drag this into the view and let's make it fit entire view. And let's see, so the width of this dashboard or this sheet, what do we do here? So inspect, okay, 563. So how did I do this before? Okay, so 600 by something. Okay, let's just try. So we know it's 600 wide. And then let's maybe make it 900 tall. How's that? That's a bit better. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And then I need to show my caption because that's where my credits were. Did I change the size? I'm going to make that 7 point. And let's see. Okay. Is data source one word or two? One word, I think. All right, so then in the title, we could say something like, let me just look at the original title. Oh, let's get rid of this. So I could say something like, how good are Americans at what did I call it here? Perceiving demographics. Okay, and then my subtitle was something like, let's see, did I put it in here? Why is this Tableau book? What font did I use here? All right. Okay. All right, so let me name this. This is okay, so let me extract the data. Okay, go back over here, and I'm going to look at my phone layout just to see what it looks like. And for some reason, Tableau squashes it all and it looks terrible. So then I can make my height maybe something like that. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, so I now have a phone layout as well. Okay. Oh, my labels disappeared. What the heck? Oh, probably because I need to increase the height of the dashboard. Okay. And I think that is it. Yeah. Okay, so Stephen, yeah, I saw the labels disappeared, so hopefully, yeah, it makes sense why I had to increase the size of the dashboard in order to fix the labels. So same thing on the, yeah, the problem with the mobile view is it really squashes it. But there's not a whole lot I can do about that other than delete the mobile view. Okay, I think I might even just call it quits there. Let me edit my axis, and I'm gonna go from minus 0.5, so minus to, let's say, just trying to give these labels at the bottom a bit of room. So it goes, it's 0.1. Okay, there we go. So now I've got some, I just wanted to give these labels at the bottom a bit of room. Oh, I forgot to clean up my tooltips. Okay, so in all, I'm gonna put my true proportion. So let's put those on tooltip. Okay, and then add to gas. Okay, so let's make this. Okay, so then the estimated proportion, I could maybe make this one the blue and make this one the red. So how does that look? Okay, so I think that's pretty good, and I think I've got the buffer at the bottom. I've been able to recreate the original. Oh yeah, I need a reference to the color. Yeah, thanks for that. So let's see if I could. Okay, so I need to do a reference to the color. So let me try. I'm just going to put on maybe a reference line. Let me just put a reference line on, a constant line on measure values at 0. And no, I want to remove that constant line on the, yeah, okay, at 0. And then let's edit the reference line. Oh, now my mess died. Come on. There it goes. Oh boy. Now I'm course, my mouse dies in the middle of the session as well. Okay, so, how annoying. The inevitable dying mouse in the middle of the demo. Come on. Okay, so I want to have no line. And then the value, I'm going to put custom here. So at 0, it's going to be true proportion. No label. Okay. And then let's format that. And then the label, we want to make that red. And the alignment is, let's see, how's it done here? Okay, it's to the right. Okay, and I'll give it a bit of room, so just give me 1 second. And then let's get rid of the shading. And then the alignment is at the top. Okay, great. So then let me do the same thing for the other one. So measure values. Let's do it at 0.2. And then let's edit the reference. Oops. Edit the reference line. The label is going to be estimated proportion. And then no tooltip, no line. Okay. And that one should then be the blue. Alignment is to the right and to the top. Oh, this one should be aligned to the left. There we go. And to the top. Okay, so I need a bit more room for this, so let me reduce this again. So that hopefully this trick works. We will find out. So let's, I believe if I put all my totals, so now I've got my grand totals at the bottom. So let me move the grand totals to the top. And now I have room for my labels. So that worked out. So format, let's maybe make that right aligned as well. And let's make the font 8 point. Let's make this one 8 point. Okay, and then I want to format my grand total and get rid of the words. Okay, what else do I need to do? Oh, I need to get rid of my dividers. Grand total, none. Okay, none. Okay, so that's how you could stick those in the totals above the top. And I think, let's see how that looks now. So now those are overlapping. Okay, so let me format this again. And let me center it. There is a, let's see, let's do a, I know I've seen Jeff Schaefer do this at a line break. Oh, but that's going to do it like that. Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's a way that I can get it to multiple rows. Okay, so let's see, Tableau, reference, line, label, 2 rows. Okay, so that's not it. And I don't believe there's a line wrap option. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, here we go. There is a line wrap option. I shouldn't be so judgy. Okay, center. Oh, okay, but that one's not wrapping because it doesn't really need to. Okay. So now the problem is that our totals, it overlaps here. It must be the font. I'm going to just clear the font for a second and see what happens. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do here, let's format. And let's make this maybe 7 point. And then what happens if I... Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. I think that's probably as close as I'm going to be able to get it. Could you put the reference line at 100% and left format the font? So 100% wouldn't... 100% would put it over here on the right, which I don't think is as clear. So I think I'm going to just leave it like that. I think it's fine. Right. The only thing that's weird is now I get this, like, you see, what's really strange is that it's putting this gap between the lines for some reason, which is like super annoying. Why the hell is it doing that? Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Right. All right. I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you enjoy what you're seeing, please don't forget to click on subscribe. I do these every week. We do have Viz review tomorrow, I believe. It's either tomorrow or Thursday. And that will, I'll be covering for Eva. She is away for work, so I'll be covering for her for that. And I'll give everybody feedback, or, well, take about a half an hour to give feedback. Obviously, I won't get to everybody. But hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you next week. Bye.